Okay, I'm going to talk about pharmacological and treatment of presbyopia and also the new nanotechnologies. And somehow, when I think about it, are we really ready for this? I think Johan showed yesterday that this is a business for the companies of plus $3 billion with multifocals, trifocals, EDOPs, or what have you not. Maybe this is too simple, what we are doing. Sorry?
Because it's not your presentation here, is it possible that we change that Johan?
Okay, so now you have my introduction to my presentation, and it's a great pleasure of introducing Giovanna to...
Wait one moment, it's okay? Wait one moment, it's okay.
Back to you.
We reverse the slides again, so it's
We need
probably...
Johanna here. You go.
Oh, now we are here. Okay, I must admit I do have some financial interests in some of the procedures that we're going to talk about. Now we talked about $3 billion plus. And the key question here is the industry really ready for this? And are you as surgeons really ready for this? I've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm starting to have some doubts. Not from you guys, but from the industry. We know there are many methods, and from your point of view, this is the holy way of refractive surgery. No question about it. And I or others going to pull the carpet away from your feet. Also a question. Because let's face it, we've heard yesterday and today about the problems of this and that. And it's so tempting because the market potential is probably 2.1 billion people out there that really could benefit from this. This is a famous slide, I don't need to go through that. Now, we have some choice of active principles stimulating the parasympathetic innervation and increasing depth of focus through meiosis. Accommodation induced by the parasympathetic is perhaps associated with the prolongation and potentiation of these effects by the alpha agonists. So we must appreciate the anatomy. The ciliary muscle is predominantly under parasympathetic control. Sympathetic innervation is playing a minor role in relaxation only. The ciliary muscle contains muscarinic 3 acetylcholine receptors. An iris is under the influence of these parasympathetic system. Cholinergic stimulation of the M3 receptors of the iris filter muscle causes meiosis. So there you have the secret. Meiosis will definitely give an extended depth of focus. And we've heard yesterday and today as well about the EDOP lenses. Fairly similar to this, but here we're doing it the natural way by decreasing pupil size. If you decrease, Sudi calculated, if you decrease the pupil diameter with 0.1 millimeter, you increase the depth of focus with almost the whole diopter. Immediately you will think that here is a contraindication to use this drop, and I will be perfectly frank with you and say, do not use the drop for pupils that are smaller than 3 millimeters. It just will not work. That is to say, don't use the drop above the age of 65. And this was confirmed to me by a recent study that I will work back to in a couple of minutes, done in South Africa, where he confirmed my thoughts that above 60-65, the drop is not working. So, also a little bit more about optics. And small aperture optics have long been known to increase near visual acuity by increasing the depth of field. The most commonly used strength of Pharmacological is 2.25%, which is equivalent to about 3% pyrocarbon. So now we know we have two methods, Pharmacological and Pyro, to induce meiosis. We looked at Presbymania as well, but this is causing an allergic reaction to more than 25% of the patients. Here, if I may change the topic just for 1 second. In all the presentations I've heard from yesterday and today regarding refractive surgery on the cornea, no one paper have mentioned intraocular pressure. Not one. And maybe you are falling into a trap because your Goldman applanation, your Goldman applanation tonometry will give false readings. You have a cornea of 480 or 420, no, let's take 420. It gives you an IOP of 20 millimeter of mercury. It's not. That Goldman applanation tonometer is calculated for 520 micron thick cornea. That's where your 20 microns come in, or 20 millimeters of mercury come in. For 420, the real IOP is probably about 28, according to the scales that we developed a couple of years ago. That was just a little bit of outside. So, what What we really want to do is to decrease the high orders of aberration, and there are only three aberrations that we need to take into account really. The spherical aberration, coma and trefoil. Now, by doubling the pupil diameter, increases spherical aberrations 16 times. So thus a small change in pupil size can cause a significant change in refraction. Now, Encore Vision have a totally different approach. They are softening the crystalline lens. It takes about 90 days before the procedure is working. But here again, would you pay 465 million US dollars for something that increase the near visual acuity with barely 2 lines? I don't think you would, because, and this is what I feel about the company acquiring Encore, there is something more behind it, and it's called cataracts. Also, it's very strange that one of the inventors of this drop, his name was mentioned before today, has also invested a fair amount of money into one of the companies that I'm a part owner in. It makes you wonder a little bit, doesn't it? So here is the company, and that's the $1 million question. But there is more to it than that. In Israel, at Shara Zedek Medical Center in Jerusalem and Bar Ilan University of Nanotechnology in Tel Aviv have developed eye drops improving nearsightedness and also hyperopia. And these nanodrops have successfully been tried on pigs. And as from the beginning of this year, the technique has been started to be applied on human eyes at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, and with very encouraging results. Now, we don't quite know the long-term results of these studies. What does it do to the cornea and so forth? That remains to be seen, but on the pig's corneas, there were no changes whatsoever. Now, going back to where we stand today, all these companies that have developed a drug for meiosis are either staying in their own country, like Giovanna, or are concentrating on the USA. To my knowledge, present knowledge, there is no studies apart from one going on in Europe today. The FDA is obsessed with that the drop must improve near visual acuity with at least 3 lines. They're obsessed. The list here, Vicente should have been here and talked about his drop. He's concentrating on the US, trying to find money. Allergan second drop, still struggling to get the FDA 2B going. The Rosis drop, where I come in, they have started to recruit patients for 2B. Earlier treatment, well, I don't know. Giovanna in Argentina with a fantastic data bank of 1, 2, 3% pyro with superb results. Colombia drop, well, we don't have that. Ego drop, where I also come in a little bit, is in taking part in Europe and South Africa, showing very promising result with an increase of near visual acuity between 2 and 3 lines. And then we have the shadow, it's all the nano drop. This is for the future, and still, we had in last year's Presbymania in Tel Aviv, we had some excellent lectures from Professor Dan Goldberg from the US, and Kate Emails mentioned it today, some mentioned it yesterday. We still do not know enough about what happens when we get old, more than the lens gets stiff. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and God bless.